Mark, it is remarkable to have seen you and your colleagues basically win 60 straight here. It was amazing to see it to be a dozen straight and then 20 and then 30 and then 40, and it just keeps going. They've just lost at every level, and in some cases have been really quite chastised by judges hearing these cases about how bad they are and how pointless they are. They've had no traction whatsoever. And I have to ask you now, at this sort of landmark moment with the court having made this decision tonight, if this is more than just wins and losses, if you think the volume and the pace and the unrelenting nature of what they're doing, despite consistent rejection, says something about our democratic process and the two parties that's different than who we might have thought we were coming into this.
Yeah, it's a really good question, and it is the thing that troubles me most about where we are. You know, I was asked a few days ago how many lawsuits are there typically filed by a candidate or by campaign after they lose an election. And I said, the answer is zero. Like, you know, we can't let this seem normal. I mean, the fact is, I was the general counsel for John Kerry, and I was the general counsel for Hillary Clinton. So I've sat in that room with candidates who have lost closer elections than Donald Trump lost here. And you weigh those options. You say, is there something that can be done? But at the end of the day, our system relies on the fact that when candidates lose and it is clear they have lost, that they concede, both for the peaceful transition of power, which is part of it, but also for the continuance of democracy. Part of the democratic system is the norm of accepting election results. And this was not a close election. I mean, I'd love to say that we won 57 lawsuits because me and the other group of lawyers involved were great lawyers. But the fact is we won because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won virtually landslides in these states. I mean, these were not close elections. And so what I am worried about is that Trumpism has so infected the Republican Party that this is what the Republican Party is. The Republican Party is the party that not only has an attorney general in Texas who may have his own personal reasons to file a frivolous case in the Supreme Court, because maybe he wants a pardon. But the Republican Party is now a party where 18 attorneys general who didn't have to join the nonsense did. And then a party in which over 120 members of Congress who definitely didn't have to join the nonsense did. And so, you know, where does that leave us in a system that relies not just on people's actions in accordance with the strict law, but in accordance with common decency and common sense? And so I think we need to take a step back when this is all over and look at the institutions we have and the rules we have and ask ourselves, is our current system and rules capable of withstanding the kind of authoritarianism that we saw throughout the Trump administration? But the utter moral bankruptcy and willingness to go along with it by one of the two major national parties.